Hey there, my Tyler Perry Sistas fans. It's your girl Barbie J here, and don't we have something to talk about tonight? What is going on? What is going on in Tyler Perry Sistas season 4, episode 20, Inside and Out? Ooh, I can't even make it. Well, I guess the inside and out is Karen tried to get inside, and Zach said, "No, you stay out here." I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Or, I don't know, Gary was inside the penthouse and then he went out. Or I don't know and came back in. I don't know what's going on. This episode was crazy. But before we get started, honey, let me just say, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you're old here, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't made the decision. I don't know what's keeping you from subscribing, but go on, help my channel grow. Anyhow, let's talk about this show. This episode was I thought it was going to be boring, but it got a little interesting at the end. Especially, I like the scene with Danny and Logan and the scene with Zach and Karen. And then forget the short little previews of what's coming next week. Isn't next week is the last episode? This is going to be very, 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 very interesting. Okay, so we got Zach getting that call from Tony. I thought they was going to talk about that today, but they didn't, and I'm really surprised. Let me just go and say, Tony called him, and that's the lady who gave him the stock tip, and she wants Zach to, meet her at the hotel, and Zach saying like he can't meet her right now. And she's like, well, when can you? And he's like, I'll call you back and let you know. She said, look, I'm here because of you. And I don't want to be waiting. It wouldn't be wise to keep me waiting. So I don't know if she's looking out for him or what. But it sounds like that's what it's a seeming. It seems like that's what it's going to be. But we're not sure yet. The way Tyler Perry writes, it could be anything. I mean, anything. Because you saw just anything happen last night. This is crazy. This episode is a trip. So he kind of, hangs up on the lady, not hangs up on her, but hangs up saying he'll get back to her. And that's when Fatima came in. So Fatima automatically thinking something's up. It's some other lady, I don't know, some other woman. And not that she's insecure about it, but the way he was acting, and she could tell that something's wrong. You done asked her to come back here. Thought she had a whole bag in her trunk. She went home to get clothes. Came back. She needs to tell him the stuff that Andi said to her about him. And then he's shutting her out. And that's how she's feeling. And then she asked him, did it have to do with Karen? Is this something that has to do with Karen? And he's like, no. Then what's up? And he's like, I just need some time. He said, I just need some time to process whatever, things before I can tell you, So she's like, bet. She goes upstairs and she seems to be a bit upset, but she's okay. Then we got Danny. She's showing up to the Olive to meet Logan. And Logan doesn't know that, there's a double date. And I'm like, why didn't she share this information with him in advance? You got him paying, and then you're saying there's another couple. So how this check getting split? Let's be real about that. Let's get to the nitty gritty. But see, Danny don't care because she wasn't paying, so it don't bother her none. But anyway, why'd they sit on the end seat? Why didn't they go on the inside chairs? Why when Sabrina and Bayou came, they had to climb through everybody's chairs and move it? It just made no sense to me. I'm just going from the aesthetics point of view. I'm like, that was silly. Anyhow, Danny basically made it seem like, one, she didn't tell him they was double dating. Then she tries to say, she didn't want to meet with him alone because she didn't really know him and stuff. That's what you were doing in the first place. And if you were so concerned about meeting him alone or any kind of way, you wouldn't came with the short behind dress on. So come on with that. Go on home with that mess, Danny. And then here they are getting to know each other, and she's asking him questions about the music he likes and where he works and all. I'm not where he works, but she's asking him questions. And when he asked her the same questions, she couldn't answer. Why she couldn't answer what her major was in college? It almost made it seem like she dropped out of college or something, or just hung around, never had a major, just glided through the classes. I don't know what it was. But then she couldn't even mention her favorite music or her favorite artist or anything. I was like, that's kind of strange, Danny. What's going on with you? You know, anyhow, she just made up some kind of excuses and I didn't know what was happening with her. But then we go to Q. He accuses Maurice and Sabrina of planning to rob the bank. And Maurice and his dumb behind went along with it. Instead of saying, Q, what the hell are you talking about? Why would you say that? Instead, he gonna sit there and make up stuff, answering his questions like he really did rob it, and where were they gonna go, what were they gonna do with the money, and oh, we were gonna go to Canada and all of this stuff. And I said, Maurice, stop it. Why are you being so stupid? See, that's why being silly all the time is not a good thing, because you get yourself in trouble. You might have been just playing around, but now not only are you getting yourself in trouble, but you're answering for Sabrina as well. So now it's making both of you look bad, and this is probably why the two of them are going to end up in jail in season 5. Then we have Gary. He's in his office and he has Aaron comes in, and Aaron's like, what happened? And he's like, he tells him everything that happened and how he felt up in the penthouse with Andi. And Aaron tries to get Gary to wake his butt up and realize how he is behaving. It's not healthy. You know, he's like, you're obsessed, you're this, you're that. You know, we know all the stuff he was saying. And he suggests Gary goes out and get another woman. Maybe that'll help him because he's so stuck on her. And Gary, when he says that, Gary turns around and looks at him and says, yo, didn't your wife shoot herself? Whoa, where did that come from? Was that a low blow or what? I'm not understanding. Why did he do that? And Aaron is like, what? What does that have to do with anything? And why would you say something like that? And then Gary apologizes and he keeps insulting him. And then, you know, he tried to go and look at get some binoculars and look at the penthouse again. And Aaron's telling him to stop. And Gary's saying he doesn't think this counseling stuff is working for him. And Aaron's like, it would work if you would apply the things that I'm telling you. And I'm sitting there going, Aaron, give it up. He doesn't respect you. He's not listening to you. He's insulting you and all of this stuff he's doing. And you're sitting here being a good guy. Yeah, you yelled at him and got on his case, but he needs therapy. He doesn't need a preacher. He needs a therapist right now. He needs somebody to throw some salt on him like he carries something and do what is that called with the cross? They need to do something because Gary like possessed or something. Something wrong with Gary. We all know it. We all see it, don't we? I know I do. I see it. So then anyway, Aaron tells Gary not to call him anymore to support him through any of his crises if he's going to just insult him because he's got his own stuff going on. I said, yeah, you need to know if Karen baby is yours. That's what your big thing is. Who the baby daddy is. That's all you got going on because we ain't seen you doing nothing else but be up Karen's behind the whole time. Aaron, that's all you do. Anyhow, Gary apologizes again and Aaron walks out and, you know, as Gary tried to get him to stay, and he's like, nah, I'll talk to you later. Deuces. I'm out. Peace out. Bye. Everything. He might as well said it in foreign languages because Gary wasn't understanding. Then we got Sabrina and Bayou. They show up at the Olive and introductions are made. And then, I mean, they wasn't sitting one whole minute. And Logan asks Bayou if he knows him, you know, and he looks familiar. He's like, no. So then he makes up a reason to leave, saying that he got an important text message. And Danny's thinking, oh, that means he's married because she already asked him the married questions. He said he wasn't married. He wears the ring for his job. So Sabrina, so Danny decides to leave because she doesn't want to be the third wheel. And Bayou tells her she's like a lovely lady and asks Danny where she works. And she tells him. And I'm like, why did he ask her where she worked? And I'm trying to figure out who is setting up who. Something is not right. And it has to do with Logan, Q, and Bayou. Something's not right. And y'all put it down in the comment section what y'all think it is, because I'm just going, my brain is a little mush right now, and I'll tell y'all later about it, why I'm not clear with all of this, because I got some news that was disturbing, but I will share that at another time. But anyway, so Danny leaves and Bayou's like, oh, she's so beautiful. You have such beautiful friends, and that I want to meet all of them. And Sabrina starts looking at the menu on his phone. She tries to change the subject. She's looking at the menu on the phone, on his phone, and he's still trying to see Danny, who is long gone. And Sabrina's like, do you want me to go back and get her? He's like, would you? I was like, I would have been like, Sabrina, oh, really? I would have been up there. Okay, I'm going to go get her. And I'm going to leave too, but I would have really left. I wouldn't have even stayed. He was like, no, I don't mean that. No, you stay here and all this stuff. Now, I was like, I would have been gone. Not even that. He wanted his driver to take Danny home. And Danny's like, driver? Oh, who? But so she could find out where she lives, where she works. Something just ain't right with all three of those men. Something's just not right. But you can honestly see that Sabrina was feeling some kind of way now, but I would have just said, forget it. I would have ended that meal. That would have been over. Then we got Zach. He comes into the bathroom and gives Fatima a glass of wine, and she said, oh, it must be really bad, whatever you got to say. He's like, what? I can't just do something nice for my woman? So she in there soaking in the tub, and they have a little talk, and he doesn't want her to worry, and that's why he won't tell her what's going on. And he leaves out. That's cool. Logan calls Danny and tells her he needs to see her and to explain why he left the restaurant so quickly. She was really done with him, but she said okay, and he was right outside her apartment door. Damn, stalker. He know where she lived. That's just something ain't right. So he won't tell what's going on because it has something to do with his job. And he asks if Sabrina, if she knows, is that Sabrina Hollins or whatever, who works at the Brookhaven Bank? And she's like, yeah. And he asks her, would Sabrina do anything illegal? And Danny said no. So she's hardworking like me, and she's the squarest person And then she's like, wait a minute, what's going on? He's like, I can't tell you. She said, then I'm not going to answer any more questions till you start answering some of my damn questions. And Logan wouldn't answer any of her questions, but he just said that she needs to be careful. And then he's like, why? And he said, he wouldn't tell, basically. So she's like, then get out my house, get out. He said, look, tell Sabrina she needs to get a lawyer. Just like that. So I'm like, what is going on? It doesn't make any sense. Then we got Andi. She calls Karen to talk, and Karen immediately asks her, what did Gary do? I'm sitting there laughing because she know her friend. And Andy's like, whoa, really? Like she's shocked that she says that. It's the truth. So, and she asked her, where is she? And she said, I'm in my car on my way home. And she said, you don't sound like you driving. She said, what is it you want? And then she asked Karen again about, but she wouldn't say. She asked again where she was going, and she's like, no, I'm in my car. Are you outside at Zach's house? No, or something like that. First she said no, she wasn't there. But then Andi decided to start telling her what happened with Gary. And Karen's like rolling her eyes up in her head as if Andy's annoying her, if you ask me. Like, I don't want to hear this. All you ever do is Gary. That's how it was. And so Andi says, I think Gary knows that Robin was here. And Karen said, I told you that stripper didn't know what he was doing. Hold up, everybody. Why would Karen know anything about a stripper coming to check for bugs? When did anybody tell her? Because when that happened, it was Danny and Sabrina there, and they were on their way to her house. She was in the middle of having sex with Aaron. So how does she know anything about the stripper checking for bugs? I don't know. Maybe I missed it, or maybe I just forgot what it is. But if somebody remembers, can you please let me know down in the comment section? Thank you. So anyway, Karen asked Andi why she feels that way, that Gary knows. And Andi said that he had that same look he had on his face when he thought she slept with Paris. So here Andi is trying to talk to her girl, and Karen is being real funky and a bit bitchy, if you ask me. So she seems to be jealous that Andi has been talking to Danny, because she says, she makes a comment about, why don't you just go and call Danny so she could tell you what you want to hear. And Karen's like, Dad. Karen says that, and Andy's like, Dad, really? It's like that? She's like, why did I call you? Anyway, then her phone rings, and Andi decides to answer it. And of course, you know who it is, Gary apologizing. So she clicks back over and tells Karen, I forgot what she said to her, but Karen said, look, I gotta go. Anyway, and she's like, Karen, where are you? Are you at Zach's house? She's like, what if I am? She said, we got to talk about this baby. Bye, Andi. Bye. And then she go, we got to talk about this baby. And Andy's like, Karen. And she hung up on her. I said, damn, Karen is really losing it over here. I was like, who is this person? This is not the Karen I know, not the strong, independent Karen. I don't know what's happening here. So then they switch to Gary. He comes into the apartment, and Andi asks him what is going on. And Andi tells Gary that she knows that he looked, she says she knows that look that he had on his face, and she explained. Then she asked him, does he have cameras in her apartment watching her? And he had the nerve to act indignant and ask, who do you think I am? And she was like, I know who, she said, who do I know you are? And that is a jealous man. And he was like, no, brother, trying to act like that's not him. And she was like, okay, so did you know Robin was here? And how did you know? And she said, remember now, we said we would be honest with each other. So he finally told her that he can see over to the penthouse from his office building. That's a damn shame. She acted like she didn't even know where he worked across the street. So you spy on me? He said, no, I just like to look up here. I said, that was a dumb answer. Then he tells about the telescope, and I said, I hope you enjoyed the view of me effing another man. Now get the F out of my apartment. And he's like, wait a minute, hold on, slow down. And they go back and forth, and he admits he keeps messing up. And she says, yeah, and you need some medication or something. And he agrees he needs something. I said, oh yeah, he need a lot of help or something. Oh boy, what happened? That therapy with that chick wasn't working either. He getting counseling from the preacher, therapy from a sex chick. And he's still all messed up in the head. So she walks away, and she gets into the elevator, and he follows her, and she pushes him away and says, stop following me. She's so done with him. And she told me she gonna move back down into her apartment. He's like, this apartment was supposed to be for us. And oh Lord, anyway. Next, it was Karen. She walks up to Zach's door and knocks. Oh Lord, he answers, and she says that, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? First of all, he was like, what? Then it was like, what are you doing here? And you're not returning my calls. He said, I need to talk to you now. About what, Karen? Can I come in? No, you can't come and talk out here. Oopsie. He won't even let you. Oh, you've been staying in my house for 3 years, and I can't come inside yours. Go ahead with that, Karen. What do you want? He's like, she inside. She is my woman, and you know she's inside. Damn right. Her car is right there, Karen. Come on. Karen came to start mess, and they making her messy, and I don't like messy Karen. I don't like her. I liked independent Karen. Who TP is turning her into is making me sick. He's like, can't we talk tomorrow? No. She like, we got to talk now. He could have just left her ass out there, but she might have did something stupid like a bat like Fatima and break up his car windows. He's like, well, you just met her and you going to move in with her and you going to be living with her. And he's like, don't you have a man? He said, hello. No, Zach, I have you. Uh-oh. Crazy as they come. That's something crazy going on. She done snapped. Something is wrong with Karen. Karen. Oh, Lord. She said, don't act like that, Zach. Don't now. Don't you know how this goes? You know how this goes. Stop doing that. And he's like, hell, what goes? What are you talking about, Zach? You're making this difficult. Now stop. Stop it, Zach. You know, you mess around, you come back to me and all this stuff. I'm here. I'm ready. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't believe it. And he said, look at me. Look at me, Karen. He said, it's over. And he was very calm and not yelling, because she said when he be yelling, he don't mean it. She said, tell me you don't love me. He said, I told you this before, Karen. I told you I do love you, but we are not good together, and I'm in love with Fatima. She said, but stop. Come on, Zach, stop playing these games. She was losing her damn mind. Then he said, you know what, this is sad. And I was saying the same thing. He said, you're sad. That should have woke her up. How pathetic. Maybe he should have used the word pathetic, because pathetic is what was coming out of my mouth. You're Miss Independent Woman again, he said. It's over. And she told him to shut up. Shut up, Zach. Shut up. I said, see, that's the part she liked. She liked bossing him around and telling him to shut up. And Aaron had told her about how she talked to people. Now, you ain't never seen Fatima told him to shut up like that. Not that I remember, but I could be wrong. Y'all can let me know. Then she said, how could you say that to me while I'm standing here pregnant with your child? He said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm carrying your child. She said, oh, she a liar. And she wants to deal with it now. And he was like, and we'll deal with that when time comes. She said, deal with it. We deal with it now. And she started trying to walk into his house. And we're going to talk about this baby now. And if she going to be in our lives, is Fatima going to be in our lives? Then we going to go inside and talk about it. Now, he grabbed her arm and pulled her, because she started walking towards his door. And he was like, no, we're not going inside. And she's looking at her arm like, why are you holding me like that? And he said, I'm not going inside to talk. And she was like, Zach, stop with these games. And Zach is saying, I'm not stopping. What is there for me to stop? And that's when he said about 2-3 times, you know, she making a scene out in his damn new neighborhood. This was what was getting on my nerves, really. You know, all the neighbors got to be in your business. He ain't been there. This is his first night there, and she making a scene. God damn, Karen. So Fatima yells over the balcony, no, there is something to stop. And I'm coming down. Karen's like, she coming down now. Like she gonna break up their relationship now. That's what she thinks she about to do. But they ain't what's about to go down. And that's how it went off. And I said, oh my God, this is crazy. But what's crazy is what's going to happen next week. And next week is the season finale, I guess. When the homegirl gonna show up with the baby, and she told me, I'm trying to get an address for you. And I'm sitting there going, how's she gonna look at Zach? Zach's like, who are you? And she like, I tried to get an address for you. What is that all about? And Fatima's down there and Karen's down there. And then the girl shows up at Karen's salon talking about you better be glad you ain't married to him, because I'll be coming for your ass. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? We got Danny telling Sabrina what went down. Oh, what's going on? It's just crazy. So hopefully next week, the season finale will be all that, which is supposed to be, and leave us wanting more. But this one was pretty good. I got to say, I think today's episode was pretty good. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. This is your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.